Hey everyone, how you guys doing today? So, I am still sick. As you can tell, my eyes are swollen, my nose has been clogged up, and I feel like my lips are so chapped. I don't know. I cannot get better. I have been on NyQuil for the last 2 days, and but it's not going to stop me from making videos. So, I was watching Kurt Cameron this morning, and one of his talk shows that he does when he interviews other people, and they usually give their testimony. And I was thinking of how I deleted all of my previous videos, and my testimony was on there, and I definitely wanted to redo my testimony for you guys. And I'm sorry that I'm sick when I give this testimony, but I just feel pressured to do it now, even if it's not that good of a video. So to begin with, I was saved when I was 5 years old. We had it was what is now called CVS Pharmacy, but it was an Osco drug store. I do remember stealing some chapsticks and bubble gum and maybe a Barbie doll or something like that from Osco Drug. This was back in the 80s. And I remember being feeling bad about it. My mom and dad caught me, and I probably felt bad because I was caught more than anything. And they made me go up to Osco Drug and apologize to the store manager at the time, who he said that he saw me take it on video, and he appreciated that I came back and gave the items back to him. And I grew up in church, and I don't know if these are two separate situations or if it was close together or not, but I do feel like at some point when I was 5 years old, during that time period of my life, I did feel pressure to accept Christ into my heart. And I remember being scared to go to hell. It seemed like back in the 80s, that's what they preached about at church a lot of times, was hell. And I do remember actually being scared and thinking, I don't want to go to hell. So I did accept Christ into my heart. I remember the pastor coming over to our house and sitting down and talking to me and telling my parents that she gets it. Usually at that young age, he wouldn't suggest someone accepting Christ because they probably wouldn't get it, but she gets it. So as long as he understood that I got it, he was going to go ahead, and I was wanting to be baptized, and so I had that desire in my heart. And I remember the day I was being baptized at church, I couldn't wait and go forward, or maybe it was the day that I actually went down and went forward to accept Christ. I can't remember, but I do remember sitting there and being anxious and excited and happy. And I couldn't tell you what I said. I couldn't remember how I was feeling except for that excitement that I had. So at the age of 5 is when I just really feel like that's when I've accepted Christ into my life. Grew up in church my whole life, hit to be about a teenager, and kind of got off track a little bit when I got out on my own at the age of 18. I decided I was going to go clubbing. I started drinking. I worked at a mutual fund place, and it was one of those jobs where you go out and you go party it up with the coworkers after work and go to the local bar, and that's how you moved up in the company. And so that's what I decided I was going to do. I only worked there for about a year, and mostly I quit because I didn't like that lifestyle. I worked 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I thought I was hot stuff. I worked downtown in a very business area, and I was a lot thinner, and I just had a lot of guys who liked me back then. Even my boss was attracted to me and wanted to date me, and I lived on my own, and it was just one of those things where I just felt pressured to live a lifestyle that I didn't want to live. I didn't enjoy any moment of it, and I realized that I wasn't able to live that lifestyle because I was a Christian, and it just wasn't fulfilling to me. It was actually a waste of my time. I had no interest in it, and it was very short-lived. Like I said, I only worked for that company for about a year, and then I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. And that was the year of fun that I had. That was of the world. And other than that, I ended up meeting my first husband. We were young, and had our first kid, and we lived in Oklahoma a year and a half, and we moved back and to Kansas City. Okay, so I met my first husband, and we had our child, and I met him at church, and so I thought it was a safe bet. We were young and in love, and nobody could tell us how to live our life. Let's put it that way. Our marriage soon fell apart by the time my kid was not even 2 years old, and it was because of verbal abuse and just probably frustration of being in a marriage when we were too young and didn't know what it took to sacrifice to keep it together. I think I had just turned 21 and he was 18, so that will tell you the difference in age and how young we were. It was tough, but we ended up getting divorced by the time my kid was 2.5, 3 years old, and I met my second husband shortly after at the daycare that I worked at. I ended up babysitting his son and got hooked up pretty much by his mother, thanking me for taking care of my stepson, and it was out of convenience. It was convenience. Because we met at the daycare I worked at was at a church. I thought it was safe. And after we were married, realized that he was on the side doing drugs, and he beat me up. And that was something that I never expected to go through, and it was a very difficult time in my life. I can't really talk too much about it because it was just being physically beaten up under any circumstances whatsoever is it happened so quick, and it was something that 8 days after he filed for divorce, and I'm glad he did, because I didn't know what was going on, and it was unexpected. And so as a single mom, I got to know Christ a lot better, and a closer relationship with him during that 5 years that I was on my own after the divorce with the second husband. And that was the time where I feel like I grew to be the strong Christian woman that I am today. And I ended up meeting again at a different church in a different city, my third husband. And going into my marriage with my third husband, I met him at church and truly believed that this was the man I was going to grow old with, that this man believed the exact same as me. He had a past. He was an ex-alcoholic, and I could see that Christ had changed him and that he was no longer a alcoholic. He had been sober for like 13 years when I married him, and he did have a relapse, I guess, the year before we met, but it was a one-night drink, and that's it. He was very active in AA, and we dated probably about 6 months before we were married. Not long enough. And it just worked out that he would help me because I was a single mom. It was tough. I was struggling financially. We bought a house. We got pregnant with our son, my third son, on my wedding night. And so things happened very, very quickly. During our marriage, everything was fine. And all of a sudden, in 2021, he filed for divorce. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he filed. He has never given me a good reason. And he refused counseling, and he won't talk to me. He won't co-parent regarding our son. And it's been a constant court battle with him. He is not following the agreement that we have, and without mediation, without co-parenting like I do with the other two ex-husbands, it's very difficult to know what he's thinking. As far as I know, he's just trying to take things away from me, and it's one of those things that he's just being very hateful for no reason. And because of our divorce, I again am struggling as a single mom financially, and I'm right now I'm sick. I have a broken wrist, a broken arm. I feel like I'm falling apart. I need a knee replacement on my knees. But you guys, I'm growing stronger with Christ, and it's my circumstances, as far as being a single mom, these situations. When I was watching the Kirk Cameron special today, he was saying that, I think it was, he had stated that God allows us or permits us to be in a situation that he hates, like he hates divorce. It says it right there in the Bible. God hates divorce. He puts us in those situations and allows it to put us in the situation where He is putting us in a place where He wants us, and where he loves that situation that we're in. And I really felt like that is where God has put me right now. He's put me in a situation where, yes, He hates divorce, but it's for protection for me and my children, and it's for a purpose. And I'm growing in that situation closer to God, and this is exactly where He wants me to be. And it's my testimony of my marriages and my faith in God that He is going to be using for this channel and for helping you guys out. And so I wanted to be able to give you guys my testimony. I didn't ever have a great, huge transformation. I wasn't an adult when I became a Christian. I was 5 years old, and it's something that has grown over time very slowly. But I am on fire for Christ once again now that I'm a single mom. He is my husband. I am relying on Him. And I wanted to just very quickly give you guys my testimony, even though I'm sick. Don't lose hope. If you're a single parent right now and you're going through struggles, we're all going through struggles, to be honest with you guys. Like I said, I'm looking horrible right now. I am so clogged up. It's all the way up to here, between my eyes. My eyes are swollen. Oh, I'm so sick. But you guys, please, please, please understand that everything happens for a reason. And don't get down on the situation that you're in. If your husband's walked away from your family and your marriage like mine has, and he hasn't even have a good reason, and he's moved on and with someone else like mine has, that's not your problem. It's not your problem. You cannot force people to love you, because there's only one person who will love you unconditionally, and that's Jesus Christ. So I am asking you guys and encouraging you guys to please seek Him. Have your own testimony. God will give you that if you ask Him into your heart. And you'll be able to share and separate yourself from that toxic life that He doesn't want you to be in. I feel like because of other people's decisions, my ex-husband's decisions, I've been removed from a situation that could be even worse for me and my children. So I'm very thankful that God is protecting us and that there is a plan. And maybe God's plan is for me to help you guys here on YouTube and to start the program that He's laid on my heart to start up. And I'm excited about the things that are coming. I have no fear that anything's going to ever change on my divorce. I know that God is going to protect my children. He's going to protect me. He's given me all the desires of my heart, because I am going to keep my focus on God, and He is my husband, and He will guide us spiritually, and He'll be our protectors of our family, because I don't have a husband no longer to do that. And if it wasn't for my husband filing for divorce, and I want to thank him for that, then I wouldn't be in this situation where I feel like God has really laid it on my heart to be separate of the world and to share with you guys my testimony. So I do thank my ex-husband for filing for divorce and walking away from our family, because I am growing so close to God because of that. And it is a prayer that I have had for many years in my marriage, that I would grow closer to God like I was before. So, like I said, I didn't have that big transformation of the sinful life. I've always done kind of what's right, and I don't lie, I don't cheat, on purpose. I mean, every once in a while I will, but it's not those those sinful acts that I do on a regular basis, like most people do. I am always trying to be honest and faithful to Christ and do what He wants me to do. When I was watching the Kirk Cameron thing, he was interviewing someone who had said that they grew up in the church and they always knew the fruit of the Spirit, and that's how you could always tell who was a Christian and who wasn't, was by the fruit of the Spirit. And I live by the fruit of the Spirit, especially that last one, self-control. You gotta have self-control if you're a Christian. Be separate from the rest of the world and how they behave. Like I said, I went through my phase of partying it up with my coworkers, trying to move up into the company, but I didn't like it. And every time I do anything wrong or say anything wrong, I immediately get conviction of what I did, and I have to ask for forgiveness. And so I encourage you guys to ask for forgiveness of your sins and turn your life over to God. Let Him take control of your life. Surrender everything. I surrendered my marriage and my children. They're all God's. They're not mine. So, I know that God's going to bless me and keep me in His love and His care. And so I encourage you guys to accept Him into your heart. And I am going to add the ABCs of salvation again to this video. I wanted to give you guys my quick testimony, and I thank you guys so much for watching. Prayers that I get better. I would appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.